First thing I want to mention about this movie, it was delayed. It wasn't just written off for tax purposes. Hey, what's up, you guys? It's me, Dear Kid, the review, back again with another video. So we have our first trailer for The Bride. In light of Universal Monsters getting the recompense back on the big screen, we have a Frankenstein movie coming out this November on Netflix, made by Guillermo del Toro. But we have another Frankenstein movie, but this time it's actually going to be taking place from the point of view of the bride of Frankenstein. This one is actually brought to us by Maggie Gyllenhaal, and oddly stars Christian Bale as Frankenstein for this version, which I wouldn't have expected that aspect. Where I thought, huh, him and Frankenstein. It's kind of funny how him and Aaron Eckhart were both in The Dark Knight, and Aaron Eckhart played a version of Frankenstein before, and now he's doing it now as Frankenstein, which that old Bruce and Harvey dynamic. And Maggie Gyllenhaal was Rachel, so it is kind of full circle. Part of me was a little bit confused because I was like, okay, we're getting another version of Frankenstein that's not actually based on the real story. But then I saw that they were actually putting up some set photos from this movie, and it showed Frankenstein in a way that was like, it kind of reminds me of the way they announced Jared Leto's Joker, which he has tattoos of something like that, but not tattoos in a sense, but it's more like skin wrapped around certain ways. And I'm like, are they gonna do some weird modern take with this? But I don't know. Part of this felt confusing to me. I know there have been different takes on the Universal monsters as of late. We just had a Wolfman, which, not gonna lie, not one of Lee Winnell's best work. And I thought the way they explored the wolf aspect was like a disease, not actually a curse or something that was given to him. I felt that was a little bit odd in the way the movie expressed itself. It was like it had a cool sense of looking through the POV of the wolf, but then again, it wasn't actually like a wolf man. It was just more like a disease. Part of the monster and universal aspect of this whole thing is that they're monsters. They're just creatures unknowns. We already have horror movie characters, and they're basically the originals. But for this movie, I don't even know what it is yet. So let's all take a deep dive into the world of The Bride. Not counting the one from Cruise Commandos.
Was I just the same
Oh,
before the accident?
There wasn't any accident. Everything we did it on purpose.
that's interesting in the way they're doing this.
There is nothing left to do now but live.
Hmm. Part of this is giving her like a little Harley Quinnish look. Oh, he's in this too, Jake. Didn't expect that one.
Come on, big man. You don't want to play?
So it is in modern day.
Until death do us part.
Hmm. All right. And he's using guns.
What's my name? I can't remember.
Monstrous.
Again, I want to mention, like I said before, that yeah, we've had many takes on the Universal monsters, and this one actually feels like it's taking place in modern day, which it feels like there's a Dr. Frankenstein somewhere, but I'm not even sure if it is. This to me feels like an artsy-ish style movie, going to the perspective of the bride itself, not like the whole Frankenstein story that he's looking for somebody for company. It seems like the bride itself is actually taking upon somebody who's actually been into an accident and they're actually bringing her back to life in this whole new way, which her look in itself kind of reminds me of Harley Quinn in some way. And from the little aspects of this trailer, it seems like they're both her and Frankenstein going around the city doing their own little spitch of crime, actually causing a little bit of chaos. I don't know if it's just me, but part of me feels like, hmm, from the way I'm describing it, it almost feels like, in a sense, the actual Joker sequel we could have gotten that wasn't the movie we actually thought it was going to be. Like, if you took Joker Filet Ado and took out the musical aspects, and instead of them being in the asylum, if you would have taken them out of the asylum, this would have been this whole movie in itself, seeing both him and Harley in their own way causing some mayhem, the same way these two are doing in this movie, which, oddly enough, I'm kind of seeing Frankenstein use guns in this, which that's the yeah, that's that sacrilegious thing where I'm like, you're monsters. You don't need guns. You don't need weapons. You're a monster. That's the point of what you are. What this teaser did was give a sense of tone of what this movie's actually gonna be. Because I feel like, yeah, we're gonna see the fantasy elements in that Frankenstein movie coming out next month. But I feel like, I don't know, this whole taking it to the real world and putting it in real life aspects, that's the whole thing that messes me up when I'm like, yeah, we've had fantasy elements in movies before, but also when you bring a monster element and bring it to a real life environment, it's not gonna work exactly how it's gonna you think it's gonna be, because I feel like you could have substituted this with other characters, almost like, oh, and it just came to me just now. Part of me feels like this is actually gonna be Bonnie and Clyde, but you replace those two with the Bride and Frankenstein in this case. A wild power couple on their way to cause some mayhem and maybe some destruction along the way. Hopefully with the second trailer they can actually explore more on this, because yeah, I'm getting a sense of, yeah, we're doing the whole real world aspect thing again. That's the thing. I'm like, I'll give it a shot, I'll give it a try, but there have been other attempts. Like, I remember the Invisible Man was the whole thing where you can't actually do this without the actual scientist and potion actually making him invisible. But the way that movie explored it was like, oh, that's just in a suit that makes him invisible. And funny enough, all the cameras and things in that suit was built to actually make it so the human eye can't capture it. That's the thing I liked about that movie. But when the Wolfman tried doing the wolf thing as a disease and infection, that's the thing where I'm like, yeah, I'm not supposed to see it that way. I'm supposed to see it like a curse. Even The Shape of Water did a sense of, yeah, it's fantasy, but you realize this is basically the creature of the Black Lagoon. But the way it's explored in that movie, it's more like you're seeing it as though as a character in itself, where it's not just a monster. It looks like a monster to other people, but it's more of a fact that it's still a person at heart, even though not other people see it that way. Hopefully, it makes sense when we see the second trailer, but for what I think right now, I think it's a little bit iffy. All right, guys, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. All my social media is down in the description below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.